What's going on, everybody? I don't have any coffee in my hand this morning. Sorry about that. We are on the road. We've been driving all night. We left Denver, Colorado yesterday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it is now 8 o'clock in the morning. So we've been driving straight through. 2-hour shifts, getting it done. So, it's funny how popular a video gets when you say something like, I was wrong about Harley Benton in the title. And it also proves that people just don't pay attention. So what I was going to do was go through these comments, not to call anybody out, obviously, but to just have a conversation. First of all, about this subject, because I find it very fascinating. And second of all, to kind of show what one of the biggest issues with this kind of content is. So we're going to talk about that. So we're just going to go through all the comments, actually. First one, my $199 Chibi Les Paul got me exploring without having buyer's remorse. That's cool. I do never, ever, ever, this is the one thing I will never do, is I will never support counterfeit guitars. It's illegal. It's wrong. It's theft. You shouldn't do it either. But I understand your comment, and I'm glad that you were able to play with some guitars and kind of get to know what you're doing. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see here. This is a pretty interesting exchange. Have you actually tried a Harley Benton, or you dislike them on principle? I have not tried one. And this is one of the things that's made me want to kind of revisit this conversation. And I've never said, to be honest with you, that I don't like the guitars. I don't like the idea of them. And I also don't like, while I appreciate what the community is, there is a particular segment of that community that I believe is destructive for the rest of the guitar community. And I want to find out why they're so rabid about these things. It is really the thing. And then some dude started going on and on about how I don't research anything, and that as long as most of the guitars come from 5 or 6 big factories around the world. If he sees Cort on the headstock, he'll go ew. But if it's any brand that they manufacture for, like PRS or Fender, then he won't even think about it. It's pure snobbery and after the fact reasoning for a prejudice. Okay, so first of all, this is wrong. Fender actually uses like 23 factories around the world. Cort is one of them. And then he says that Harley Benton uses Cort. Okay, that's cool. If they use Cort for some stuff, I know they use it. I know that most of what they do is made by another factory in China. I have good knowledge of this from the person who sells wood, and I could get all into the technicalities of where all their wood comes from, and it's crazy. He has 2 Indonesian Harley Bentons. I assumed Cortec was most likely production site simply because it's a massive facility. Obviously I can't say whether a guitar, so I might be wrong. I'll just tell you, I might be wrong about this. It's possible that Cortec does make some of their guitars. It is possible that they do. You've told me before that there's no way that a Cort G300 compares in any way with any U.S. Fender in terms of quality. You argued it ad nauseum, so maybe you've changed your tune. Probably when the Fender standard moved to court. Oh no, I've never said that. But what I will tell you, I don't care about court G300s at all, so I've never even shared an opinion about that. But what I will tell you is there's a big difference between a $300 court and a $3,500 court. And that's not from me, that's from actually Phil McKnight going and touring that place and showing how there are different kind of grades of court guitars, right? So this is one of the things that I think happens is people see what they want to see about these types of brands. There's differences between all of them, but what you'll find is all the $300 guitars are basically the same. All of the $500 to $600 guitars are basically the same when it comes to quality, parts expense, like that kind of stuff, based on country of manufacture. You can start to put them in kind of different buckets, and at least at this price level, and they have to. And it's not. There's no ill intent with it. It's just the result of building a guitar to a price. So the two ways that you build a guitar to a price, you say, I need a $300 guitar to sell, I need a $500 guitar to sell. There's a couple ways you do that. One, you pick a country of manufacture where you can hit that price. And then once you're there, two, you tell the vendor that's going to build it for you to source parts that allow them to build it to that price. That's what you do. And you have to remember that they're building these guitars, for a build cost of $75. You know what I mean? Like these really inexpensive guitars. Yeah, the cost of manufacture is like $75, $50. They're being manufactured for almost nothing. So what does that actually say? You cannot say that guitar is a high quality instrument, because they're not just putting awesome parts on a guitar because they feel like it. Like, they're trying to hit a price point, and they have to compromise, because you cannot build a guitar for a $75, $100 cost, $50, whatever it is in that price point. You can't do it if you put good parts on it. I mean, you could put functional parts on it. It will function like a guitar-shaped thing, and it'll look like a cool guitar. But it will not be the same thing or just as good as something else. And that culture is what annoys me. It's not the guitar itself. It's that culture who is rabidly fighting for the fact that they need to justify the fact that this guitar that costs $75 to build is just as good as somehow something that it just isn't. The math, the parts, the country of manufacture, which doesn't really matter, but it has to do with the type of factory that they have to use. Okay? These are not like Apple clean room factories, right? When you're making a guitar for $75. And if you think I'm making that number up, I'm not. So there has to be compromise. And people just can't, I don't know why they can't figure that out. It's weird. Okay. So maybe I am wrong about Harley Benton using Cort. And if they do, that's cool, and I bet they're the best ones they make, to be honest with you. Because Cort's really good. But I know that there's a couple of manufacturers in China that they basically just order from. It's where the guitars are basically already built. So, okay. So moving on. The contemporary low mid-price range guitars are a completely different league to what was available when I started playing 40 years ago. Absolutely. Beginner instruments are better than beginner instruments in the past, for sure. Absolutely. Let's see here. I think you're really overestimating. Let's see. Hang on, I'm trying to get to the beginning of this comment because some of these are. It takes years for a company to gain a favorable reputation and one dumbass move to destroy it. That has nothing to do with the right offender to protect its IP. But yeah, they've just kind of ruined it for themselves. It's true. It's true. Hang on, I'm just going through these real quick. I went through them before, but I started out learning to be a guitar tech on cheap and used guitars. Fantastic, that's awesome. Buy a sacrificial burner guitar and start setting it up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's awesome. My favorite single cut guitar is a Harley Benton SC Custom 3. Blatant ESP LTD copy, okay. But it has almost exactly the same neck profile, okay, cool, as my Player 2 Series Strat and Telly with a shorter scale, flatter 12-inch radius, and it makes it wonderfully comfortable for my small hands. I've never played a more comfortable single cut. That's rad. As far as Yamaha Pacifica, those are cool too. I want to get one of those too, actually. I want to get a Pacifica. So this is the thing. I know people really like these guitars, so I want to find out why. That's really it. I just want to find out why for myself. Yeah. It's good to hear that you're opening to how and why the budget guitars impact people. I definitely understand and agree with many of your issues about Chinese labor business models and supporting services. I also feel that American companies don't always prioritize the parts of the processes and experiences either. It's fair. Yeah, fair. I'm waiting for a perfect company and product, but I doubt I'll ever see it. Yeah, I agree. It's good to hear you opening to the how and why the budget guitars impact people. Okay, so this is the problem with YouTube. People want to hear what they want to hear. I say this in almost every video that I love the fact that inexpensive guitars exist. I support modding them. I support buying them. I support the fact that they're there. It is 100% important. In fact, in yesterday's video when we talked about this, I said we need Fender to have this. We need Epiphone. We need PRS. We need Harley Benton. We need all of it. We need it. Inexpensive guitars are not the problem. They never have been. I've never had a problem with them. But that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear, I don't have a problem, and I like and support the inexpensive guitar that you like. And since I've said up until this point that I don't support the inexpensive guitar that you like, you hear, I don't like inexpensive guitars. I want that to sink in for a second. You're taking what you want to hear, and nothing against what he's saying, because I understand what he's saying, but that overarching thing is the problem. I love inexpensive guitars. I own them. I think they're great. I recommend them to my friends all the time. What guitar should I get? I think you should get a Classic 5. I think you should get a this. I think you should get a that. All the time. Yamaha Pacifica, top of list. Excellent instrument. $280, whatever. So cheap guitars are not the problem. Not at all. It's the people that don't pay attention. It's the people that think that when somebody says, I don't like the brand of guitar that you play, that or anybody, it doesn't have to just be me, that person is now attacking you personally like I just kicked your mother. And I didn't. Your mother's probably nice, even though you're a jerk. She might not be proud of how you feel about it, actually.
That's why you don't get cookies anymore.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time your mother said, I really enjoyed your YouTube comments on Dylan's video and sent you some cookies? Probably not recently.
Would you show these comments to your mom?
Would you show these comments to your mom? Excellent point. Excellent point.
Does she know you're being mean?
Does she know you're being mean to people? Excellent point. Yeah. And I don't care. You can be mean to me all you want. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're the one not getting cookies from your mom. I wasn't going to get cookies from your mom anyway. So you're only hurting yourself. And we're just sitting around here laughing about it when we turn the camera off. So.
Or on.
What's that?
I said or on.
Or on. If the camera's on or off, doesn't matter. We're still going to laugh about it. Yeah. So it's not the cheap guitar, the inexpensive guitar, the beginner guitar. It's the cult. It is. It's the cult that I'm trying to understand, right? Like, I mean, I don't think the leader of the Harley Benton cult is trying to have sex with everybody's wife. So it's probably not the same as like, you know, but there's a Kool-Aid there for sure. There's some kind of Kool-Aid that somebody's drinking and they're like, hey, everybody, to be in this cult, you have to buy this guitar. And the main tenet of our cult is that this guitar is better than every other guitar, no matter what the actual facts say. So, I'm going to kind of go like incognito, but I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to join the cult. I'm going to see what's going on. We're going to do an expose, documentary film. I'm going to go in there. It's like that guy that well, there's a bunch of them. You know, it's not quite like that dude that like joined the Klan and didn't tell anybody, because we're not going to get all racist or anything. But
I thought you were going to talk about like people who infiltrate like Amazon tribes.
No, because the Amazon tribes, those are like, that's healthy cultures that we just don't know about. These are people who are like intentionally taking on a belief system that is like almost self-destructive. And so we got to get in there and find out. Now, I'm not going to try to save anybody or anything. I'm just going to report on it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to be a journalist of the Harley Benton cult.